The more I think about it, the more I realize that intellectual humility is extremely necessary for any writer. I find that I have to bring this humility to bear when I draft and research because I realize the vast gaps in my own knowledge and how minuscule my own knowledge really is, in spite of the fact that I've spent decades researching my specific fields. But the sea of human knowledge is enormous, and though we swim in it for multiple lifetimes, we will only pass through a few molecules of its vast depths and breadths. And I especially realize the need for intellectual humility when I revise. Over the years, I've learned to revise dramatically and drastically, to take my works and chop them up, move them around, change the organization, change the focus, even question the very premise. And I always save my earlier drafts in case I decide that one of the previous versions was better and I want to go back to it, but I almost never go back to it because the dramatic revisions are usually much, much better. And probably most importantly of all, I do all of this in community. I have a trusted group of beta readers, my authors circle, who give feedback on almost everything I write. And we do this in meetings verbally, we do this by comments, we share our works back and forth, and we are not afraid to just rip these apart, but we do it in a community of trust. And it's very important to me to have a wide variety of people in this group. I've got people over decades of age span from extremely different philosophical, religious, and political points of view from different parts of the country and from different countries across the world. And it's extremely important to me to have the richness of their varied viewpoints. I wonder if this same perspective might help when it comes to public, political, and religious rhetoric. I wonder if I used more intellectual humility, if I'd be less likely to use condemning language of those who think differently than I do. An important phrase could be, what if I'm wrong? What if they're right? Maybe they have a point. And to think beyond the sound bites. That's part of the problem too, is that when we're doing public rhetoric, we often employ overused phrases and duck speak, to use Orwell's term. We just kind of repeat party lines and we forget that there's a depth of thought underneath it. But I wonder if some intellectual humility